Hey guys, welcome back to the Kaiyo cast. It is episode 28. We have Starheart here. Welcome. How is your day going today?
My day's going great. Thanks for having me a part of your video interview series.
Heck yeah. Um, kind of honestly just jumping straight into it. How'd you kind of find about VR? And how did that kind of become a thing?
So I've been aware of VR for a while. I had a neighbor, like a classmate that I lived really nearby back in high school, who had a Oculus DK2, a developer kit even before the original Oculus consumer version came out, and so I was like, "Ooh, I'm super curious about this technology." And so I asked him, like, "Would it be possible to try this?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So he booted up Elite Dangerous, and that was my first experience in VR back in 2015. And yeah, just wearing the headset and like being able to uh, I didn't even fly the spaceship. I just sat there in the cockpit looking around, and there's this little orange box. There's like, I don't know, medical supplies or whatever the environment designer put in the spaceship. But I was just so captivated of the depth where it's like that feels like it's right there. And then you look out the window, you see these massive asteroids floating outside, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing in the world. But then I went off to college, and I didn't actually buy any sort of VR equipment. So it was years and years later when I was finally able to try VR again. And that was at GDC 2019. So getting to try out, someone was demoing a VR game called Moss, which had come out like a year earlier, a year or two. I got to double check my dates, but that was like magic because you could see this little sets, these little sets, and then you got to be in these bigger environments. Yeah, that ignited my love of the immersive aspect, but I didn't get a headset until I discovered, and we can go more into what led me to like this. It's a long story, but discovering VRChat through YouTube videos, and that finally VRChat was what put me over the edge of like, no, I gotta buy one of these. I gotta, I gotta get a
Let's check it
PC
out.
because this isn't, yeah, this isn't anything like I've ever seen. This is magic.
That's amazing. Honestly, VRChat is totally like magic because it's kind of like I've talked with a lot of other people and with friends, it's more or less you could connect with so much people in VR and in a way for events and meeting up with people and just socializing and doing all that. It's impossible in a way to do that so easily in the real world because you would have to, it's plane
Mm.
flights, it's traveling, it's so much more planning than just putting on a VR headset and meeting up with some friends. How'd you kind of find music, or has music always been part of your life?
I didn't find music. Music found me. There's
Mm.
my parents tell stories of like, as a little kid before I could walk, I would find like we would go over to a family friend's house and they'd have a piano. I'd crawl over to the piano and like hit the keys. I was enamored with music and like classical music, and then later on elementary school discovering like 80s rock and synthesizers and music, which is these like early 2000s computer animated albums, I guess, that have, the most famous one that probably everyone's seen is these little pipe, or like this whole network of pipes with these metal balls coming out that hit strings that make all this music. That inspired me. I was constantly like making up stuff on the piano, much to the annoyance of all my piano teachers. They're like, "You didn't learn the thing that you want, like I assigned you. You just messed around." I was not disciplined at all. I just like I was loving just the experimentation of being able to create my own sounds. That's why I was so drawn to the piano and singing in choirs, and started writing my own songs with lyrics back in, I guess, 8th grade. So like 13 13, 14 years old. It's been a long journey since then, and aside from like childhood love, my professional journey with music has been a little all over the place. I went to music school and got to be in a metal band of all things. So that was a really interesting experience because we wrote a ton of songs together and performed in various places and got the whole experience of like what's an IRL band kind of like. But I was going through a really dark time, so being able to write really dark lyrics and stuff was very cathartic, but it wasn't what I wanted long term. The scene is very intense that I didn't totally resonate with the metal scene. So it was good for the moment and great experience and great practice, like getting good at performing on stage and all that. But my true passion has always been stories and escapism, and like I've always wanted to make videos and films, and so my love of video games kind of led me to, and my love of composition, music composition. I was like, well, I'm gonna try to be a professional video game composer. So after graduating, I did a couple indie games, and that was what I was pursuing until I discovered VRChat, where everything changed.
That's amazing, and kind of I feel like it's the same for a lot of people. How you find VRChat and it's like, this is gonna become my whole personality now. I am trapped here.
1,000%.
Yeah, VRChat's amazing and it's very powerful, and of course with just like the creativity, the world building, and how you even said, yeah, you created your own world for your new video, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was kind of the whole planning and everything around that, and how was that journey with the world?
Oh, it's super fun. Like, I've tried to make some worlds. I have a couple that aren't published that I want to go back and make better, but I had a tiny little bit of experience doing some environment design, like 2D pixel art environment design, with some level design on it, one of the games I worked on. And so it's always been like an interest of mine to like create the world that I'm in. Plus, like, how cool would it be to just like building a set in real life to shoot a video is really, really hard. You need the space and the materials and the time and the labor to pull that off. Where digitally, I was able to just find some really cool assets, throw on some other textures, figure out lighting systems, and so it all started from the script and the idea for the video, and it's kind of mapping out each scene based on which verse or chorus I wanted it to correspond with, and then I started architecting the museum, because that's the main location in the music video. So I'm like, okay, logically, how do I want this museum to feel? Lighting wise, time of day, what does this museum feel like to progress through and to look at on the outside? And very inspired by like old turn of the century architecture with the columns and the very old school building, but with it has this grandiose sort of feel, which felt very appropriate for this very dramatic story. So once I sketched it out, I actually ended up completely ditching that design and redoing it in 3D once I saw that it, the flow wasn't working at all once I got it into the physical space. I'm like, ooh, okay. I had the idea in my head that did not work, so it was nice to be able to iterate that and check it like in VR, and like, oh, okay, I think this is going to be a nice progression that will allow me to have these camera movements that I'm picturing in my head, and have this nice progression with it sets up Clara and Starheart dates where they first get wine, but then so it sets up when Clara asks for the refill, then Starheart in physical space goes the opposite direction of the gem room. So I'm going into like the details of the layout. That's not super interesting, but I'll tell you that it's just like I didn't know that much about how to how to do this stuff, but it was really, really fun to learn. Like, there's so many great YouTube tutorials out there. Yeah.
That's really cool and that's really interesting. The way I wanted to also kind of bring this up too, that opening shot where after it says Starheart Productions, that opening shot where it's the gem with the heart, and then that shot was amazing. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
Just that, yeah, that
Thank
opening
you.
shot was great, and then that transition into the where the train passes by, like the storyboarding and
Yeah.
the way you mapped out the film to go along with the song was absolutely amazing and it was stunning.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
glad it all came together. And it's like the final video's really close to my script. So even though the museum changed a lot, it was nice to see that the edit it came together the way I pictured it. I was really happy.
Heck yeah. And also with I think you might have seen my comment on it, but I commented on like it was like 204 or 205 when you hit the high note in the song where it's like Clara like climbs down from the
With the zoom
that
in and yeah, yeah.
that
Yeah,
very excessive zoom in
that
shot
was the
is just
climactic
so
moment.
it was so
Yeah.
good. It was so good. It was great. It
Aw.
was so, like it was great. It was great.
And
That's
so
my favorite part.
obviously like you picked up, I'm so glad. Thank you.
Yeah.
That moment is the like in the song it's I'm still holding on to you as Starheart sees her leaving
Yeah.
as she says her goodbye and that's
And
what
then the
the
shocking
song was
face with
leading
the
up
zoom.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The build up, it was so yeah, it was so
Yay! I'm so glad you liked it.
I mean, also just like looking at like just from a little bit of a film perspective, I used to do a little bit of short film stuff before YouTube and everything, like 6 years ago, like so long ago, like music video
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then like that inspired me to like, wow, this is great. I want to get back into like music video stuff and try to do stuff with VR because it seems like
Awesome.
super fun.
It's super fun. Yes. I love the medium of music videos.
Like it felt like an MV or a music video, but also it was like this feels like a music video, but more like the way it was built up, and then it was like a mini short film. I was like, I want more.
Yeah,
We're dying
yeah.
for more. It's like we need the full story between Clara and Starheart. We need
Yes.
this.
That's a good sign, leaving you wanting more.
Yeah.
Well, I will say Clara might return, but I'll definitely continue the story of the Starheart, the crystal heart that's been stolen. So yeah, stay tuned.
Heck yeah. You said you've been planning to maybe like also like debut on Twitch and all that with VTubing and all that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, so I'm super. I have a lot of fun ideas. Like I love games, but I don't think I'd contribute that much to the game playing world of Twitch because I'm not particularly good at them, and there's a lot of amazing Let's Play streamers and stuff. So I'm like, oh, what would I do if I stream? So, what I finally figured out is I want to bring people on the journey of what does a 3D VTuber trying to make it in the music world, what does that journey look like? And I want to take people along for the adventure, where it's like behind the scenes vlogs at shows, or me building or location scouting for my next music video, or writing a song together on stream, and then I do want to play some games. I have a fun idea that I think it'd be very entertaining to a good take to combine music and games. So yeah, well, yeah. So I don't know. Like to me, it's also this permission to not be so polished. Where my music videos, I'm like hyper concerned about, oh, this needs to be perfect. And I spent like 4 months working on, 4 or 5 months working on I Still Love You. Where the next, like, that's not necessarily sustainable, but like I still want the YouTube channel to be like this polished, oh, this, each one's gonna be really good, but the Twitch could be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more
Yeah,
personable,
lean.
and people,
Yeah.
yeah, people can get to know me and hear like live karaoke version, or not even karaoke, like just me playing piano and like, hey, do you know how to play this song? And I'm like, I think I've heard it before. Look up the chords and like try to try to play it and stuff like that. I think that'd be super fun. I'm very lucky that I can play piano as well. It allows me a lot of flexibility.
Piano's really amazing. I need to get back into learning piano. I think I've mentioned this a little bit at
Yeah.
Trans Pride the week before, but Yeah, I learned piano. I first started learning piano because I had that typical Asian parent emotional damage upbringing to where it's like you have to do extracurricular activities. I will force you to do
Yeah.
this, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of like being forced to do something, and then it's not fun when you're forced to do things like piano or like an
Mm,
instrument or. But I do want to get back into
yes.
it. Yeah.
Totally agree. No, no, no. I think that's an important point. It's like I feel very lucky that I wasn't forced to do what the piano teachers wanted me to do. Like my parents didn't get mad at me that I wasn't practicing like my scales and my other stuff. That foundation would have been good, but it also let me appreciate music in my way and learn the songs that I wanted and make up the songs that I wanted rather than, like, let's be honest, how many kids relate to music written 200-300 years ago? Yes, they're foundational to the history of classical music and therefore, leads up to the combination of classical and the romantic, and you get African influence, which created ragtime, which then led into jazz, which then led into blues and rock and roll. Like, there's a progression. So I'm not saying that it's not good to learn classical music, but it's really, really hard for kids to get really excited about
Appreciate it.
Chopin
Yeah.
or Mozart. You're like, unless you're into it, great.
Yeah.
But you don't have the context, right? You see these like old men in wigs. You're like, well, that doesn't look like someone that I could connect with or be. If you see someone you relate to, it's gonna be much easier to connect with their music. So, for instance, like I had a really hard time finding someone to connect with in the metal scene until I found Hailstorm with the incredible vocalist, shoot, or Paramore. Her voice is incredible, and like being able to relate to these female singers. Oddly enough, this is before I transitioned, but they helped me feel like that I could be a singer in that genre, in a more intense, heavy genre, and I felt like I could. So relatability in music is super key. And yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm going off on a tangent.
We love tangent. Music, I always kind of say to people and talk to people about of it's super inspiring, and I feel like no one can ever really hate music in a way because there's always a sound or something that intrigues someone or interests someone. I feel like music will always touch someone in some way. Someone will always like music. Speaking of
Yeah.
tangents, do you have a favorite ocean animal?
Ocean animal. Oh my gosh, that is a tangent. I guess we're in the right place for it. Ocean animal. Gosh, I'm kind of legit scared of the ocean. It's so mysterious, and there's so many
Yeah.
creatures, and it's like way bigger than the land, and we don't even know all the animals in the rainforest. So yeah, the ocean, it's so deep and dangerous and scary, but it's so intriguing.
It's intriguing and scary because it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to believe that we discovered more of the Earth than the oceans because the oceans was like, oh, it's like
Oh,
one of the
way
first
more.
things
We
there.
we know more about the
Yeah,
moon than the ocean.
like that's crazy. It's like, how do we know more about
Hmm.
space? Like the space and beyond in the universe than our goddamn planet. Like what is?
Yeah,
I
I mean
find
that's
that
how hostile
crazy.
the ocean is. But
Yeah.
it's actually super beautiful because it's an alien world that we're not really welcome in, and so hopefully it'll stay more preserved from human influence than some of our land has. But yeah, favorite animal. Jellyfish are really cool. I don't want to be stung by one, but they're pretty. I like their bioluminescence. I love the water, like those little algae that light up when they move in the ocean. Oh, sea turtles are gorgeous. They're so cool. Those are probably the ones that come to mind.
Yeah, I'd say another really cool one that I really like is the whale shark. It's like it has spots, and it's very
Ooh.
they're really cute, but they're also like massive. Looks like a shark and a whale, so I guess that's where they got it from.
Big shark.
Big shark. So one more thing about the ocean. Kind of like you said at the beginning of the ocean conversation of, I feel like even though I love the ocean, I'm infatuated by it and I love it. I feel like if you were on a boat or just like in the middle of the ocean, you don't know what's physically down there, anyone would be scared of that. You know, it's just like you don't know. Like, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole debate. It's like, oh, the Bermuda Triangle, and then a bunch of this other stuff, and then all the ocean stories, and all the other tangent
it's just
stuff.
because there's a lot of hurricanes in the Bermuda Triangle. Of course, you're gonna have more planes going down in a hurricane or boats sinking in the big storms with the waves. It's not a mystery, but it's got a lot of mythology around it that's kind of fun. I got into like submarine and like shipwreck stories about a year ago when the whole submarine disaster happened. I was like morbidly fascinated by, because like, it's always been a big fear of mine. I'm like, I kind of want to just confront this head on and learn about like the worst case scenarios. Like, these people just have so much guts. Like a century ago, that would just like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna try to go across the entire ocean because we want to.
Because we don't know. Yeah, it's just like, let's just do it. It's like we don't know what's on the other side. For all we know, it's like, here's the Earth, and then you just, it's like,
Well,
is it
they
round?
Knew, no,
is it,
they knew where they were going.
Yeah, it's like, where'd it go?
But they didn't have GPS. Like, there's a storm, they couldn't check the stars. They could have very long journeys.
Like weeks or months or like couple months or even years at a time. Like, it's crazy.
Several months just to, Ugh. No. I get seasick. That's
I couldn't do that
horrible.
even. I don't think anyone could do that. Like, it's just like 5 months, 6 months out at sea.
They did it.
They're crazy.
There's people.
They're crazy.
Well, there's fishers. There's people that still do it.
The one funny is like, I love that I finally got to say this in my lifetime. I was like, we were in Hawaii like the other year, like 2023. I never thought I'd actually complete this off my bucket list. I was like, I want to see a whale shark. Probably never gonna happen, but I want to see one. We were like, the boat was maybe like, if you see Niani over there and probably Trix, like the boat was maybe not like that big. Like, it wasn't that big. It was a pretty small, like, little speedboat. And then we had like a whale shark. It was around like 25, 30 feet. It was massive. It was like, apparently they like the sound of the boat rudders that like have the sound echo through the water. So they're just like chilling around these, our boats, we're on like 200 feet deep water. So, that's pretty cool. Once the tour guide was like, yeah, there's probably a whale shark. It was like, someone was like, whale shark. I jumped it off the boat with my phone and I was like, I'm going in.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I was like, I'm going in after.
Seize the day.
Yeah.
Seize the moment.
And then I got to say
like
the line, Star, I think we need a bigger boat.
I haven't seen Jaws. I know what it's from, but yeah, I still need to see it.
Yeah, it's a classic. So you said virtual music and all that. I've wanted to definitely get more into it. The only musical, I guess, ish talent is like, I've a little bit of a piano background, and I've sang a little bit for 2.5, 3-ish years just for fun. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's all I know how to do. So, what are the kind of like really huge applications in like the digital music scene that are like really commonly used? Like, is it FL Studio? I don't really know what they are.
Yeah, a lot of people use FL Studio. Toby Fox made the soundtrack for Undertale in FL Studio. If anyone says FL Studio isn't professional, it's like, yeah, right. Like, there's so many producers that use it. So it's not the tools you use. I promise you. People just use whatever they use. Like, there's great albums made on GarageBand. There's stuff, people make really cool stuff in Audacity, which is like the open source free audio software. It's 20 years old. The interface looks pretty ugly, but it's pretty functional. Reaper is super cool for sound design purposes. A lot of my game audio friends love Reaper. I use Logic. It's just what I've used for years, and I'm super quick at it. And yeah, Ableton's super cool. I kind of want to do some live looping stuff in Ableton so I can have adaptive drum tracks if I'm like, I'm just gonna groove on this for a little bit, and then I'll advance it to the next section so we can, continue the rest of the song. I think that'd be kind of fun to add to my live sets. Trigger the backing tracks a little bit easier than it works. Logic has its own live loop thing I need to dive into a little bit. Tools are what you make of it, right? So I wouldn't necessarily rely on Audacity for live performance because you can't do a lot of real-time effects. I recommend having hue and compression. I actually make a point to not talk about the tools that much in my, on my Twitter or YouTube, because I was in the beginning when I started the VR YouTube channel 2 years ago, considered like, do I want to make tutorials? I'm like, how do I do live performance in VR? I'm happy to share with anybody that wants to learn how I've set it all up, but I just don't think it's that interesting.
I totally get you. Yeah.
No, it's more in the way that it's like, I want the art to speak for itself. I want the songs speak for themselves rather than me being total gearhead and being like, my new keyboard makes even better sounds than my previous keyboard. You don't need the latest and greatest stuff to make great music. You just learn to get really good at your tools. And on that note, like optimization, even though it's kind of annoying if you don't know how to do it, it's really cool to figure out how to get more out of less. Less polygons, but it still looks as good. That's fun. I find that to be really, really fun.
Yeah, of course. It's with a lot of things, like how Unity's a tool, how we use it to optimize avatars, uses a game engine, how it runs VRChat, or even how I use Premiere Pro as a tool. I mean, a bunch of people are using, the newer version, I'm like on the 2021 version. I'm just used to it. I haven't it's a tool. I just use that as a tool. I'm like, I don't need the newest one. I'm just gonna use what I'm used to and what I like, and then I'll let the videos and whatever speak for itself, kind of. Yeah. Speaking of, like, you said like VR live streaming too, but even with that, I was like, I kind of want to do that too. Like live streaming and stuff. Like,
I really think the future of VTubing is 3D. Live 2D is awesome, right? It's anime characters come to life. I got into this. I mean, I love anime. Anime is one of my favorite things. Like, I love all the openings. But honestly, I was more inspired by Vocaloid and like the live Vocaloid performances for the VR stuff than I was by like Annie songs.
Miku?
I love
when I first heard Miku, oh my god, I was like, what is this? People were like, I was like, what is this? I was like, what is a vocal? I got into the whole rabbit. Oh, it's a whole thing. Oh my.
Oh yeah. No, Miku's the best, and Luca, and Iya, and Gumi, and and Rin and Lan, and I love Vocaloid. I even have, I think I still have it in my Twitter bio. It's like Vocaloid fangirl. I'm such a fan.
I've always wanted to go to to like Japan and to like eventually go to like a Miku concert, but it's always like crazy for those because it's like you have to like enter those and the whole raffle thing.
It's a total lottery.
It's a total crazy, and then it's like once you actually get it, then it's like, oh, then you get the experience of it. Then you get to go to 7-Eleven and print out your Miku tickets.
Honestly, so inspiring. There's a performance, trying to remember, it was 2013 or 2014, Magical Mirai, where Luca is up on stage and she's playing guitar to Yu Yuppei's song Leia, and I had this like out of body, like I broke down in tears listening to it because it was just, I had never connected so much with this with this performer, even though she was virtual. But it was like all of her is real, right? The person who animated her face, the person who did the motion capture for the guitar playing, the person, the composer of the song, poured his heart. Those people came together to make this, and all the lighting and the live band and the camera peoples, showing this just incredibly understated emotional performance. And I knew when I saw that I had to be involved with a virtual performance in some way.
I'd say that first experience kind of thing for me was so I got in around like VTubers were, I guess, kind of that first thing where it was on like after the pandemic, it was around like 2021. And I was like, it's kind of the whole like meme where it's like the whole rabbit hole thing. It's like you see one video in your YouTube recommend. Now one little video, it's like VTuber. It's like it's
I
not, you
know.
know where
You
this is
click on
going.
one
You know where
VTuber
this is
video
going.
and they're
And then
all
it's
yeah.
all VTubers. And then it's like I clicked one video. What is
I was fascinated because I'm like, wait, we have the technology to do real-time facial motion capture with a phone?
I was like, what?
That's so cool.
I was shocked by that. I didn't even know that was.
Yeah, VTubers are so cool. I love VTubers.
Yeah, and even like 2020 when Hello EN debuted, I'd say that's like the first, one of the first big English Hello Live, or it was like EN was the first EN branch, or one of the first EN branches to debut,
Yeah.
or English branches, and it's like when that happened, it was like a slow, and then it was just explosion, and now like VTubers are everywhere.
Yeah, once Western audiences didn't need subtitles to understand VTubers, we all fell in love.
Yep. And then it's like everyone's like, I want to be a VTuber. Let's be a PG VTuber.
Yeah.
I really love the 3D, like like live 2D and 3D, but mostly 3D. Like in a
Yeah.
way, the definition of like what Fillion's doing with live streaming, having like a VR chat avatar,
Yeah.
like that's a VTuber. Like I feel like Fillion kind of popularized a little bit of the fact of like, oh, you could have a VR avatar and stream and do videos with a VR avatar a little bit, and that's like a VTuber. Because I feel like back in
It is.
yeah, like 2017 when VRChat was in like the Knuckles day, or like way back, like 2017, 2018, it was more like just memes in VRChat. Like VTubers weren't really a thing. Because the year before,
Right.
2016, was when Kizunai debuted, like the first ever ish like
Yeah.
VTuber. And then so it wasn't
Yeah.
really a scene or a thing at the time. So people were like, just messing around with, let's just mess around in VRChat, eh? So VTubers weren't really a thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're building a medium, and yeah, it's my favorite thing in the world. I'm obsessed. I'm so in love with this world. Yeah.
I just love making things, and honestly, just like connecting with people, talking with people, and making videos and streaming and connecting with the community and learning so much about Unity. Oh my God, Unity is a nightmare though.
It's
Not the
got a
Unity.
learning curve for sure.
Oh, not the Unity.
I'm not a good programmer, but I've finally gotten the hang of a lot of the basics of Unity, building my world and doing my avatar, like outfits and all that stuff. But yeah, it's tough. It's
It's
yeah.
it's that same thing toward any software where it's like, I totally saved the project, right? Crashes, goes back into the project, lost 2 hours of work, gotta do it all over again.
No.
Oh, it's happened to me like way too many
Back
times.
up. Everyone back up your files.
Back up your
right
projects,
now.
please. Like,
It hurts so bad to lose work.
question about the kind of like video and the music. Did you video edit it, or did you get a friend to video edit it, or how did?
No, I filmed it, video edited it, body acted, color corrected it, all of it. Like I did everything except play the other characters and play drums and upright bass and piano.
You did amazing. You did great. Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Woo. That's a lot. You said 4 or 5. Wait. That's a lot in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
you
Well,
okay?
I mean, a lot of it was
Are
learning.
you okay?
I'm good. There's a lot of late nights scrolling through booth listings looking for the right outfit and probably too much money on
It's
booths.
okay.
But I love all those creators, and yes, big heart shout outs to the outfit and avatar creators.
Yeah.
I love you all. I can't do any virtual fashion from scratch. Like I don't have a marvelous designer or whatever it's called to do like clothing sim and rigging and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I eventually want to learn how to do all that because that seems super cool.
That's super cool. Oh, and the tough thing will be to have time. You know, once I start streaming and I won't be on a regular video schedule. Like the last year or so, I've only put out 10, 12 videos or whatever. I think 11 videos. I gotta look. That's not a very frequent schedule. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited this summer to actually start posting on a regular schedule with more covers.
I totally get this with like the whole like schedule and everything. I do everything by myself. the planning, the
Mm.
scheduling, the video editing. It's a
Yep,
it's
yep.
a whole thing to try to keep a schedule, to try to keep
That's a
doing stuff.
lot. It's
It's a lot
yeah.
of work. And doing
Mm-hmm.
that along with trying to get streaming going, trying to keep a schedule with this, it's like you have to organize everything and keep everything going on a schedule so much. But it's like I want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do streaming. I want to do videos. I want to, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's always more cool things to do. Yeah. It's so exciting. Every day I'm like, I get to make freaking worlds. Like this is so cool. I get to be a cute anime girl and play piano
Woo!
for people and sing for people, make up songs, and people get to listen to them with my videos. And yeah, this is literally a dream come true. I'm living my dream to like have like this full encompassing art from like the visual to the song to the singing to the even the outfits or the way I shoot the video. Like it's all part of the vision, and yeah, it's really. I'm just glad people are connecting with it because I'm making it because it's really fun.
Star, you're doing amazing. You're killing it. And guess what? Here's my prediction on 4K video right now. This one, becoming a big indie. 200K, even further, a
Oh my
million.
gosh.
No, no, you got. Sorry, you got this. You got. No, you're getting out there. I believe. Yo, we're gonna see you. No,
Thank
okay.
you.
Here's the dream. Here's the dream. We're gonna see you at like Off Kai Expo, live Starheart performance. That's crazy. Oh my, yo, that's crazy.
We'll see. We'll see
That'd be,
where this
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
I'm gonna make the best stuff I possibly can. Have a blast doing it. Be a little bit of a goofball sometimes, and yeah, we'll see where we end up.
Let's be goofy. Let's make stuff. Let's be creative. Let's have fun. You know, just have fun
Yeah.
with things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just make cool stuff. Make cool stuff, right? You know, okay. I gotta talk about this, because I'm really passionate about this. If you're an artist and you're feeling discouraged by AI and it's like some of it's really crazy, right? Like it's kind of hard to believe that it's possible that this stuff is happening. But here's the thing: if you can just type in some words and it spits out imagery for you, kind of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? Like, isn't making art about making art? Where
Yeah,
you're
like the brainstorming to
that's
come up with
really
ideas. It's like it's
yeah.
not just like throw an idea in the chat GPT and it's like spits out words. It's like
Oh, a lot of the joy is actually making it yourself.
yeah,
Whether it's as perfect as a computer could do it is not really the point. It's your own expression and your perspective and your ideas from your head that you are taking the time and the effort to learn a craft in order to communicate it with other people. That's what's beautiful about art to me, is that communication, that appreciation of craft and vision and perspective. And yeah, so I wouldn't worry. Do you go to your favorite artist's concert because the songs are technically perfect? Or do you go to them because you connected with their music and they told a story that you believed in and you resonated with? And you want that next like connection. You want to see them in person. You want that support or to connect further with other people that also love the thing that you do. And they're yeah, I'm going on my little I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox. I really we're in a very turbulent time, and like in a futuristic technology like VR, a lot of people are yeah, just like kind of either polarized against all of it and they're like, oh, we should go back to only classical concerts, no electronics allowed, kind of a thing. Or people are like, yeah, let's go to robot concerts. And well, what is Miku? Some people might on the surface think, oh, that's a robot AI singer. No, it's not. She's a robot as much as the people behind her are robots, right? They're people with visions that wanted to express it through her. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll
I can
stop
totally
my
agree
little
with this.
tirade, my
I
rant.
can agree with this. I can agree with this. No, that was amazing. It's like the creative aspect of like don't let AIs like kind of like scary in the fear. It's like I think creativity will always be out there because what I always say with AI, it's like AI might be quote in some way perfect, but it's like it will never be able to replicate the creative ideas of a human person. You know, like it's just everyone's ideas are
Yeah,
different, and it's like even with video
everyone's lived
editing
a
or
different
film,
life.
yeah, everyone has different experiences and different like things that you can connect with them with, or like different ways they want to express themselves through music, through video, through VR, through cosplay, even through just so much stuff. There's like so
Yes,
much ways
yeah.
to be creative.
Oh, cosplay is such a cool expression of like connecting with a character. It's like fan art, but 3D.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. And then it's like the whole journey of like making something and learning how to sew and then like making like cardboard and
Huge,
foam
massive
weapons and
respect to
yeah.
cosplayers that make their own stuff. That's so cool.
I want to learn how to do that too.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to learn how to do so much stuff. There's way too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
Starters too much. There's too much stuff
There's
to
not
do.
enough time.
I want to do all of it.
Yes, yes. I know I've had that problem for years. I'm like, what do I pick? I love everything. I'm way too passionate. How do I like? Because some people are like, I specialize. I am going to be a mix engineer, and I'm gonna be really good at it. And they do, and they end up being like really, really freaking good at it. Um, and then so that was always like an internal struggle. Of, like, you can focus on your one craft and get really. You could be really good. You know, you're competing against a lot of people if you're trying to look at like, oh, who's the best at doing this? Like, I don't think that's the right approach. But you can
Yeah.
own what you do, right? And you could be like, I'm an incredible visual artist who specializes in anime characters, and I do this sort of style, and I have, or you know, you could go like the jack of all trades, and it's gonna take you much, 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 much longer to get any one of those skills up to a quote unquote professional level. But what's also cool about a jack of all trades approach, if you can't pick, you're like, oh, I love cosplay, I love video editing, I love music and playing piano. It's like they actually all connect, right?
They
Like if
intertwine
you
too.
get good
Yeah.
at art, the difference or the way composition works in a piece of art is actually so transferable to a piece of composition of music, because you have to think about structure and the flow and the way the contrast of like, here's your subject, that could be a melody, or the line work could be the way that melody carries through. Is it soft? Is it really sharp? And you know, that type of thing. Is it really low contrast to soft color? Maybe it's a really mellow, like ambient sort of piece of music. Is it, you know, right in your face like comic book punchy black white colors, you know, and that's like, you know, punk music. Singer just, the guitar just punches you in the face. Like there's nothing wrong with it's not wasted effort to learn another art form if you ultimately want to get really, really good at a different art form. They're all transferable.
And overall, just be creative. Just if you're inspired by something
Yeah,
or if
just
you want to
have
do
fun with
something,
it
and
too.
it's like,
If anyone's watched Mythbusters, one of the best lessons I ever got from that show was failure is always an option, especially in creative work or
yes.
science is like all about experimentation. We're in a society where it's like everyone's kind of looking at your life through social media, through a microscope, and so I think it's becoming even harder for people to feel like they allow themselves to fail. So important to feel like you can be bad at something, because in order to get good at something you have to go through that phase of being bad at it, and it's hard, but it's such a gratifying experience to fail and then to try again, learn and then fail again. And yeah, I mean, did I just try music for the like performing for the first time? Was I perfect? Absolutely not. Like my first songs were crap. My first performances in VR were really lackluster. You know, some of the stuff I learned from real life performing did not carry through, or took a really long time to relearn, both because I had stopped singing for years, but also just like singing with controllers and with a headset on, it's really tough. How do you connect with people in a virtual environment versus people in a real life environment? And the funny thing is, it's pretty much the same, you know?
Yeah.
We're all just people in the same space.
Honestly, I could agree with a lot of what you said. It's like, yeah,
Oh,
like kind of like with the last point of like, with the virtual and the real world, it's like people are like social anxiety, everything. But it's like, I'm like, guys,
yeah.
there's a person, there's a cool person. Before you get the thought of like, it's like, I'm gonna go say hi. Before you get that thought, it's like, just go up to them. You said hi, you better follow through. You just gotta send it. You just gotta do it.
I know, and complimenting people's avatars to start conversations has been really good practice for like
Yes.
starting conversations IRL. And it's like, because I haven't always been really interested in fashion, but VR fashion, like learning about all this stuff in VR has been such a cool way for me to like figure out like people's personalities and stuff, like how they want to express themselves through their avatars. And not that everyone's into fashion, I get it, but in real life, like you could see, oh, I love your earrings, those are super cute. And that's such a great conversation starter. Or it's like someone's wearing a cool graphic t-shirt of a show they like, you know, that could
Yeah.
be a great way to like, oh my gosh, I just heard about that show. What's it about? Or, you know, I don't know.
Just
Yeah,
anything create like
cool.
anything created to a sentence starter, or even like if there's like literally like create something out of nothing. I just go up to someone. I'm like, how's your day going today? How's everyone doing? You know, just like create
Yeah,
conversation.
well,
Yeah,
that's
it's
next
like
level.
yeah.
I love it. Full confidence.
I just like talking to people.
Well, you're doing the right thing here with the interviews. You get to talk to lots of cool people.
Well, yeah, kind of the with this, it's just I get to learn more about my friends, and then everyone else gets to learn more. It's like it's just fun. It's cool. It's chill. It's fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, cosplaying and like like I've been learning and getting more into cosplaying and learning more a lot about like just sewing and like making like foam with like shaping it into like weapons like swords and stuff. It's like and like oh my god, the
Oh, cool.
magic and power of hot glue. It's so oh my god.
Yeah, hot glue's great. Magic
Cosplay.
glue.
Yeah, and the cosplay and VR and that whole expression with it's just amazing with fashion and how you express yourself in VR, how you can explore different avatars and clothing, even with Booth, and Booth's amazing with just how much different options and custom stuff you can
Oh my
get.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and like what avatar like matched, or even getting like the whole like VTubing thing, or just like separate 3D model stuff. It's a whole nother world of like, oh, I like possibly don't like anything on Booth. I'll get something custom done, and more creative and
Right.
imagination behind that. And it's like a whole world. And
Yeah.
it's insane.
Tell me about it. It's magic. And I have a zine coming out pretty soon that has a bunch of artwork for the creation of the design of Starheart. And one of the pages I have in there is like, how beautiful is it that our entire self, our being, can be an extension of who we are? That's beyond fashion. It's do you want to have like demon horns, or do you want to be a cat person? Do you want to have a shark tail? Do you want to
Yeah,
have I don't know, like
Do you want
yeah,
ears or
it's,
wings or be a slime heart, be like Cassidy? It's just like the amount of expression. Like
have
I
metallic
like
skin.
yeah.
Like
Like
with
I've
your
never
cool...
seen a slime harpy. Like I was like, what? I was like, a harpy
That's cool.
slime.
That's very
Yeah,
unique.
that's so cool. There's so much creative things that I've seen.
Hey everybody, I'm Starheart. I play music and piano here in VR, and I put out music videos and working on a Twitch debut. So this is an original song I put out about a year ago called Elsewhere. I hope you enjoy. Aching to find myself elsewhere, elsewhere that no one's found. Searching the stars in a great blue sky, searching for somewhere to fly, aching for someone to love me, someone had to walk through the great unknown. This new place we'll call home. This new place we'll call home. I'm so excited. So this is a music video, or this is a song that I wrote called I Still Love You. And I just put out the music video 3 days ago and premiered it with the Rain Dance immersive music video selection. It was super, super exciting. I've been working on this, made a custom world for the video, and yeah, I got this guy Lodi I met here in VR who played piano on it. He was a much better jazz pianist than I am. You'll hear his incredible track or his incredible playing. So yeah, here we go. This is I Still Love You. My thoughts are crushing my head. I'm thinking about you instead. I wish you were here with me now. All the places to go. We could walk through the snow. I still love you. You made me feel alright. Did you love me when you left into the night? They say that it's sunny outside, but I know that they're wrong. It's starting to rain on me. The storm started fading away when the two of us met. I'll never forget that. I still love you. You make me feel alright. Did you love me when you left into the night? I've been going along for a while like a rambling song. I've been dreaming of one day you'll find me and hold me. I'm getting pretty jaded. I thought that we had made it. Oh, but I'm still holding on to you. My thoughts are floating away. I just need to lie down, forget as I lay. One day I may see you again, and if it comes to pass, I'll tell you it does. That I still love you. You made me feel alright. Did you love me when you left into the night?
Thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks for the audience for coming out. Thanks Starheart
Thanks,
for coming
audience.
out. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kaiyo.
Yeah, this has been amazing, and I love hearing about your story, learning about your story, and this was honestly just amazing and having fun ranting for an hour about stuff. This was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll see you all in the virtual world in the next KaiyoCast episode. Bye. Bye.